Alright. So once we are done with this, then we'll be moving on to our second and the most important chapter called steady state DC circuit analysis. Okay. For the entire engineering, this subject forms as a foundation, whereas for this entire subject, this topic forms as a foundation. Okay. If you have a good command on steady state DC circuit analysis, things will become easy for you to answer any question related to other topics as well. Now, let me give you a glimpse of this steady state DC circuit analysis topic, or let me tell you what exactly generally do we learn in any course related to this DC circuits. Okay. Now, I'll do one thing to make things better. Let me divide this title into different parts. First, something called analysis. What do you mean by a word called analysis? Analysis means what? It's a study, learning, understanding. Here comes one very popular term or terminology called circuit. What do you mean by circuit? Interconnection of several varieties of elements, I call it as a circuit. Then people do get confused. Sir, then what is a network? If such kind of number of circuits are joined together, that becomes a network. Alright. So, circuit means interconnection of several varieties of elements, be it resistor, inductor, capacitor, battery, voltage source, current source. It could be a transistor, diode, it could be anything. In fact, you can take your fan, bulbs, AC, air conditioners. All these are different varieties of elements. Along with the source, I call it as a circuit. Now, if that source happens to be a DC source, I call it as a DC circuit. AC source, I call it as an AC circuit. Here comes one very interesting term called steady state. This is, you can correlate with your general meaning of steady state. Steady state means what? I can simply say a relaxed state, comfortable state, when no disturbances are there. So, what exactly do we learn in this topic is, we are going to analyze those particular circuits which are fed with DC supply. During which condition? Steady state condition. It means when the elements are relaxed, when everything is fine, when there are no disturbances, then when that circuit is fed with DC supply, how exactly they are going to respond, how exactly they are going to behave is what we are going to see in this chapter called steady state DC circuit analysis. Now, we'll get back to this topic after a while, but meantime, I need to tell you some more important things. Again, let us get back to this discussion. Now, say most of you must be aiming for primarily for GATE examination. When you talk about GATE exam, in GATE exam, two varieties of questions you can expect. That is, one is MCQ question, other one is NAT type question, right? MCQ questions, as you know, it is multiple choice questions. One question, 4 options, out of which one is correct. How about remaining 3? They are also correct in 3 different wrong methods. Keep that in mind. Every question is a trap. So please try to understand that only one option is being, correct option is inserted and the 3 other options are given randomly, may not be, right? The 3 options are also correct in 3 different wrong methods, alright. So that is an one type of question that you can expect in GATE or any other competitive examinations. And here comes the second type of question, that is NAT type question. NAT type question means it's a numerical answer type question, means it's a fill in the blank and the answer is going to be a number. Okay, so you have to punch the number, you have to enter the number. In short, this NAT type question means I can say it's a problem. Now, why am I talking about all these things is, if you observe past several years of GATE exam or any other competitive exam, maximum questions are problems. You can expect maximum questions are what? Just problems. Please try to understand that this subject is not a theoretical subject, it's completely problematic subject. Problem means only you will have mostly, predominantly numericals. Okay. Now, let me tell you one interesting fact. The most commonly faced problem by any student while solving a problem. I repeat, let me tell you one most commonly faced problem by a student while solving a problem. Guess what is that problem? Starting problem. Most of the students struggle to start because I don't know the best thing or worst thing of this subject. You only should decide. One circuit can be solved using n number of techniques. Alright, one circuit can be solved using n number of techniques. Okay, for example, let us say I present a circuit to you and I ask you the same routine common question, find current, find voltage. So, you believe it or not, throughout the subject, I'm going to ask you only 2 questions very frequently again and again and again and again. You know, what are those 2 questions? Find current and find voltage, right? Chalo, for example, let us say I give a circuit to you, and if I ask you find current or find voltage, then that circuit can be solved using n number of techniques. Let us say you can solve it using nodal analysis, you can say solve it using mesh analysis, you can solve it using source transformation, you can solve it using star, this technique, that technique. End of the day, you all are going to land at the same answer, but the one who selected some X technique may take 5 minutes, one who selected Y technique may take some 3 minutes, one who selected some Z technique may take 1 minute, one who selected some other technique may take, without putting pen on paper also they can answer. So, what I am trying to say is, it's not just getting an answer, it's all about getting an answer in shortest possible time is important. If you want me to put it in technical terms, please remember this statement. In any competitive exam, if you want to succeed, 2 things must be kept in mind: speed and accuracy. Both speed and accuracy must be in phase with each other. Don't be overspeed and don't be over accurate also, because all other 3 options is a trap for you. Alright. So, speed and accuracy both has to be in phase with each other, if you want me to put this in our technical language. Alright. So, what I am trying to say is, this subject is completely, you will be having problems, and the most commonly faced problem by any student is what? Starting problem. Trust me, once you know how to start, nobody can stop you. You will directly go and land at the answer. Now, in this subject, in this particular DC circuits topic, total there are 13 techniques are there. 13 different varieties of techniques are there, right? In my point of view, all these 13 techniques are like nodal analysis is a technique, mesh analysis is a technique, source transformation is a technique, star delta transformation is a technique, voltage division principle, current division principle, supernode analysis, super mesh analysis, right? So, like this, interconnection of active elements, passive elements, right? So, source transformation technique, all these are different varieties of techniques. All put together, total I classified the techniques into 13. Total 13 techniques are there, okay? So, all these 13 techniques are like 13 different bulbs in your mind. You should be in such a kind of position that as soon as you see that particular question, the respective bulb should glow. Alright. At this stage, if I present any circuit for you, I can strongly say that all these 13 bulbs are going to glow like disco lights, right? For example, as soon as you see a question, imagine that if you are at the initial stages of preparation, then as soon as you see a question, you feel like it's KCL, no, it's KVL, no, star, no, delta. So, all these techniques will come up in your mind and it will mess up your entire answer. So, the main objective of this steady state DC circuit analysis is to learn these 13 techniques very carefully. And it's not just learning these 13 techniques, also learning which technique to be used to where. That is the most important thing, is what you should do in this chapter called steady state DC circuit analysis. Because learning technique is not just important, which technique to be used where is what important. So, at the end of this chapter, you should reach in such a kind of position, such that as soon as you see any particular circuit, that particular bulb should glow, right? So, that is the main objective of this topic called steady state DC circuit analysis.